called your position the biggest concern right now. You agree with that? Or are you seeing the same thing he's seeing?
Oh, absolutely. It's always that way. We're early in spring, and we got a lot of things putting the line together. It takes time, and yeah, I'm concerned every day about it. We come out here every day trying to be the best we can be.
You've been around a lot of good offensive lines. Just talent-wise, how does this group stack up so far,
really,
Coach?
really talented young men. I like all these guys. They're working hard. That's the thing. We have to come out right now and understand spring ball. I need them to give everything they got and work hard, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. The technique, all those things that we need to work on and improve, that's every single day of work. But right now they're working, and they're talented enough to get it done. We just got to keep working and build the group.
Coach Meyer said one of the guard spots is still up for grabs, the opposite of Billy Price, whoever that might be, if it's Demetrius Knox and Evan Lyle. Talk about some of those guys who are in the running for that job.
Well, yeah, Evan Lyle, Demetrius Knox, both are doing a very fine job. They're both, I like the way they are. They're athletic, they're strong kids. And then Matt Burrell and Michael Jordan, two young guys, are in there battling for that spot. So that's that time of year. We want to find five guys that can gel together, get the best five on the field and get them working. The good thing is we got a lot of guys to choose from right now. It's just a process of figuring that out.
Do you consider those other spots pretty solid at this point then?
I think so. I would say they're solid. Those guys are doing well. I'm really pleased with Isaiah and Jamarco at the tackle spots. And again, bringing Brandon Bowen along, letting him come along. He's getting better every day, young guy. I'm pleased there. Pat's doing an outstanding job at the center position. But again, now we got to work on Brady Taylor, getting in there behind him, building that spot. So you got to build them up too deep. But the first guys, they're really doing well. I'm proud of what they're doing right now. We'll just find who that other guard is and then keep building depth.
Are you surprised to be, I don't know, talking about Michael Jordan like you are at this point? What, 7 practices into
Yeah, and
6, I think is the number now. If I figured it out.
You're right. When you say it like that, absolutely. For a freshman who should still be in high school, who graduated early, to be here at this level of football doing the things he's doing, yes, I'm surprised and impressed at that.
And what is it that he's bringing to the table more than anything else, Coach?
Right now, effort. He's a big man that's really extremely talented physically. He can move and bend and do a lot of things. So athletically, he can overcompensate for a bad step or a bad hand placement. That's the thing that surprised me the most about him. And he's really an intelligent young man. You tell him things one time, and he picks it up really quickly.
The other thing is, like you were just talking about Jamarco and Isaiah, not necessarily, those guys have to play, don't they? I mean, not that they can't be beaten out, but I mean,
right? Yeah, I think so.
How do you lean on them, but yet make it sort of like where they're still learning?
Correct, and they are. You learn by game experience. I mean, obviously, all the things we do out here, we practice, we put them in those situations. Those guys haven't got a lot of game experience, so every day they're still trying to become a great player. Neither one of them are there yet. Pat's still learning new things at center. Billy's learning new things at right guard. So there ain't nobody arrived yet. We're still learning those positions, but I like what I see, and I really like the way they're working.
How's Jamarco doing helping the young guys next to him? There's always somebody new there, right?
That's exactly right. That's a key. It's a huge key. When you got Pat on one side, Jamarco on the other, that guy with a little bit of inexperience has got two guys that are there that are going to help him. And you know what? That's how good offensive lines operate. Communication. Because 4 guys can do the right thing if one guy doesn't, you're screwed. And so those guys got to communicate. When you got guys that are veterans that really understand it and can communicate quickly at the line of scrimmage and get everybody on the same page, we got a chance to be pretty good. We're nowhere near.
Pat's always been the backup center here, but now it's a full-time gig for him. You weren't here when he was playing guard, but how is he looking at center?
Really, really comfortable. And that was my thing, was to get him in situations and snapping and doing all the things that we ask our center to do and see how comfortable he was with the technique. He surpassed what I thought he would be. So getting him working and putting him in new situations every day to see something he hasn't seen and how he handles it from the center spot, he's been really good at that. But we got to continue to do that to build him and let him get really, so he's perfectly comfortable with all his calls, footwork, and everything he's got to do. But right now, he's exceptional.
Greg, if we get to talk to you intermittently, how are you seeing the response from the players to you? And sort of like you said, you're not trying to introduce physics to chemistry, but
no doubt.
But how's that gone?
So far, it's gone really well. I've had a lot of time now to spend time with him on and off the field. And that's the critical thing. Spending time with them off the field, having dinner together, talking together. We do things as a group because there's a trust level that you have to have between player and coach. And that's right now, we're still building that because they're still getting to know me.
Yeah.
But the more time we spend together, the more comfortable we're getting, the more comfortable they're around me. They're coming in more. We're spending more time together because they feel more comfortable. That's how you build that unit of individuals and turn it into a heck of a group that's tight. And we're doing that now, and it's really going well.
Specifically, Billy Price. I asked him what's something he's picked up from you that has helped him. Because everybody. And he said taking pass sets, things like that, he's gotten better. I mean, was that something you noticed about him as you studied him coming in? And
yes. You really, I sat down and looked at all these guys and then met with them and talked to them before spring ball about, here's what I see in your game. Here's what I think you're good at. Here's what I think we need to work on. And one of the things that we needed to work on with Billy was, obviously he's a tough son of a gun and he's strong. He tries to overpower people. So getting him a little bit patient in his pass set was one thing I say, we can work on this and you won't get beat. He's done a great job, and if you watch, it's tough to beat that guy. So that's one thing. I did that with everybody. Kind of pick out, here's your strengths, here's your weaknesses. Let's keep working on these, and then let's build these up so you can have confidence.
This may sound like a dumb question, but you're kind of like fine-tuning guys like that, bring him along, Pat Elfline, and yet you're square one almost with some of these other guys.
That's correct. You're right.
So how does that go in a meeting or in a teaching setting?
Well, there are certain things we do together.
Yeah.
And then there's certain times where it comes down to having individual meetings and grabbing a guy for 20 minutes, having breakfast with him and throwing the film on, hey, and let's just watch you. Let's spend 20 minutes on just you. Because in the group, obviously, you're right, we're all in there, we're working scheme, we're talking things. But those individual meetings, when I can break it down with a one-on-one, and we do that, that's what helps.
And what's your favorite gargle? What do you like to gargle with to keep your voice in shape?
I don't have anything that works yet. I wish I could find something. If you have something, let me know.
Thanks, man.
You guys still doing the sauce the ribs thing that Coach Warner brought here? Talk about the sauce the ribs situation.
I haven't talked about that with him yet, so that's something we'll have to get to.
You haven't heard about that at all?
No, that's,
okay.
I'll have to find that out, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is.
What are Evan Lyle's chances of playing this year?
Well, he's got to keep working. He's doing well. I mean, again, he's improving each and every day, and he's going to still be in the mix. At the end of spring, we'll evaluate where everybody is at. But right now, he's in the mix.
Billy Price has been moving, playing a little bit of guard spot. How much of that is to do with there being two young tackles that you're breaking in?
A little bit to do with it. But the other thing was, I think, when we decided to move Michael and Demetrius, they were a little bit better on the left side. And Billy played the right side, so that was an easier transition to make an older guy with experience go do it than a younger guy go over to the other side. So that was really what it was simply at the beginning.
Coach Meyer